This new B2B email marketing strategy is taking over in 2025, and it is not hype. This is exactly what I use for my client to book in $60 million of pipeline. It all comes down to one thing: personalization, personalized emails. And I'm not talking about just first name and company name in the body. I'm talking about actual hyper-personalization. Messages that speak directly to your prospects' pain points and their goals. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to write personalized B2B emails that actually convert, and show you why it's the only strategy that you should be worrying about in 2025. I'm going to show you how I launched a campaign for a client for a capital raise that had personalization like what I'm showing you right now on the screen. 3 bullet points that go in depth into what their company prioritizes and why we would be a good partner for them. If you already know you want to get this implemented for your business and you want me to run your campaigns for you, then schedule a call with me below. My link is in the description. Otherwise, let's dive into it. Most B2B emails fail because of generic templates and low relevance. They sound like every other spammer in their inbox sending the same generic message. Real personalization is your strategic edge in 2025. The message that I showed you at the top of the screen is part of a campaign that generated 24 investor conversations for a capital raise. You can see the stats below. This stuff actually works. Tell me if you would respond to this. Someone that comes in your inbox and says, hey, are you looking for X solution? Are you looking for someone to run SEO? Are you looking for someone to run paid ads? Versus if someone said, hey, I saw that you're expanding into Latin America. That's where expansion or growing pains or cost of acquisition usually shows up. This is what we did for another client. I bet we can do the same for you. Which one do you think is going to have a higher response rate? One that is a generic, hey, are you happening upon a solution? Did I happen to catch you at the right time? Or one that says, hey, I know where you're at. I understand the pain point that you're dealing with, and we dealt with the same thing for another client. I'm going to show you exactly how to tease some of this information out so that you can incorporate it in your campaign and create even more compelling copy. First of all, there's dynamic personalization at scale. There's basic personalization, and then there's what I call true personalization. Your basic personalization is things like just the name, just the company. Hey, first name, I saw you worked at company. That's helpful, but that is just table stakes. You should have that no matter what. What you want to incorporate is true personalization. This is where you try to get signals like context, timing, industry pain points, even role-specific pain points. I understand what a CRO might be dealing with at this stage of the company, or I understand what growing pains that the company as a whole might be going through that might be something I can leverage when talking to the CEO. For example, saying, hey, first name, I saw you worked at company, or how is company dealing with X? You can incorporate some more detail and say, hey, I saw that you just launched a new pricing page. A lot of teams struggle with onboarding drop-off after a pricing shift. We helped clients build a sequence to stabilize conversions. Which one do you think has more context, and which one do you think is going to generate a response from your prospect? Today, we have tools like AI and tools like Clay where we can generate personalized openers in bulk. This is an example of just one of my campaigns where I generated a couple of different personalizations. It was for that same capital raise campaign that I showed you above. You can use ChatGPT to do research on the client, to take their domain name or to take their role or to get a summary of their LinkedIn and to incorporate that into your copy. Summarize it and format it so that you can plug it in directly into a CSV like this and upload it to an email sequencer like Instantly or Smartly. We're going to go over all of that. Just stay tuned. So the question is, how do you get these kinds of insights so that you can plug them into a sheet? How do you get them in bulk? I'll show you right now. First, you're going to want to get really good at deep prospect research. So first, understand there's a framework to any cold email, to any email in general. It's going to be pain, then impact, then desire. Use this structure in each email and it'll mirror the buyer's real world priorities. It's how they think about the problem that they have. So for example, hey, I noticed you're offering a free trial. Most teams lose users before they see value. That kills activation and burns ad spend. We build onboarding flows that turn early clicks into paying users. The pain, users sign up, poke around, they never come back. The impact, it hurts activation and it wastes their ad spend. And the desire, it guides users to value and boost conversions. You can provide that desire. That solution is satisfying that desire. So how do you know what to say so that you are hitting the right pain, the right impact, and the right desire? All you have to do is pull up ChatGPT and say, hey, what are common pain points for a CRO at a mid-market SaaS company? Or you can pull info from their LinkedIn, from websites, or from Crunchbase. The more information that you give ChatGPT, the more context it has to work with, the more it can create a persona and deliver more accurate results. It can tell you more about the psychology of the buyer with the more information you give it. That's industry information, that's persona information, that's just asking it questions too. Pretend like You are this person. What do you deal with every day? Once you gather that information, you can start to craft an email like this. A lot of software as a service teams, SaaS teams, hit a wall converting free users to paid. We helped another CRO or chief revenue officer turn that around by redesigning their onboarding to drive value faster. Trial upgrades more than doubled, and their CAC, or client acquisition cost, dropped by half. Would it be helpful to see how that worked? When you implement the personas and the psychology of the buyer that you're trying to target, it becomes a lot more effective. This email wins because it speaks directly to the core revenue KPIs a CRO is accountable for. It uses industry-specific context. It has industry-specific jargon, SaaS, trial flow, cost of acquisition, to signal relevance and to signal your own expertise. When you are using the jargon they use, it automatically signals your authority in the space. And then it frames the solution in outcome terms, doubling upgrades, not just features. So this is stuff that the CRO is already trying to manage. If you are an expert in the solution that they are trying to reach, you are going to sell them. Very simple. Just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write me 3 bullet points about what CROs of SaaS companies have to deal with. And then just keep asking it questions until you feel like you've developed the personas and you understand what a CRO might be thinking and what they might be worried about and where you can insert your solution. Now, this is where we dig in. It's multi-layered personalization. This is where you can craft messages that actually feel like they were written specifically for them. Not just the role type or the industry type, but that person specifically. You want to use AI enrichment tools to gather product launches, role-specific context, competitor mentions, clear values aligned to their business goals, or just to understand what the business's core priorities are. What are their strategic initiatives? Any press releases, whatever you can gather, AI can summarize it. Once you have a list of the companies or the personas that you want to go after, you can plug it into ChatGPT and tell it exactly what you want it to deliver line by line and download it straight from the tool. Here's an example of an email from that campaign using this personalization that was enriched by AI. I blocked out anything that had to do with the client or what we were raising for because that's proprietary information, and I would do the same for you. You better believe it. But here's the part where I personalized. Hey, Kathy, we think you'd make a great partner in the raise for the following reasons. Your experience in seed and risk capital aligns with our funding needs for its relationship intelligence tool. We are speaking directly to something that they are an expert in, and we are surfacing it. Your network and expertise in entrepreneurship can drive adoption, and your track record in boosting local economies through tech investments make you a strategic ally for job creation and innovation in our sector. It sounds like we went and did our research person by person to generate a response. Would you be open to a 15-minute call before we close this round? If you are Kathy, this is a compelling email. It's basically like somebody wrote a book report on you and is telling you that we want you for these reasons. It's the difference between a generic compliment and a thoughtful one. The prompt I used for this was so simple. I just said, write me 3 bullet points as to why they would make a good partner for our raise. Now, personalization doesn't just come in the form of dynamic fields in a sequencer like Instantly or Smartly. It also comes in the form of personalization through case studies. What you are doing when you are personalizing via case studies is you are showing that you have a service or experience that is personal to them and their solution. Your case study solves their specific problem and you have experience in it. You're now the domain authority on it. A case study creates credibility and it eliminates skepticism because if you can align your case study with one of their problems, then they automatically know you have already been able to solve this and you can do it for them too. And they don't have to be one-to-one. You can choose stories from similar roles, from similar industries, from similar company sizes even, and use and borrow those results into different industries. This is an incredibly effective tactic, especially when there's no prior relationship with you and that client. This is really, really important when you're doing cold email outreach. For example, if you are a mid-market SaaS company and you get an email from someone saying, hey, we helped a mid-market SaaS brand reduce churn by 27% by improving engagement touchpoints, sounds like you're at a similar stage. If you are at a similar stage and that's a metric you're trying to solve, this is going to pique your interest. And that's the power of personalization, and that's the power of personalizing through case studies. And then lastly is continuous personalization refinement. You want to constantly test and improve personalizations. Have different campaigns that have different types of personalization in them. One is a campaign that has case study personalization. One is maybe a one-line personalization. One is maybe a 3-bullet personalization. And you'll see how these data points work in the industry or the field that you are launching your campaign in. On top of that, you always want to monitor the open rates, the reply rates, and the conversion rates because those are going to tell you the effectiveness of your campaign. But take a look at this campaign and guess which one of these variants had the personalization applied to it. If you guessed email B, you are right. Not only did it have the highest reply rate, but it had 3 times the positive reply rate as well. Simply adjusting your copy and adding personalization gets you 300% the results you were getting if you didn't. That is incredibly compelling, and this isn't even a bad campaign. This is a campaign that is already performing pretty well with high reply rates and high positive reply rates. But when you add personalization, it just supercharges it. The last thing I'm going to say about personalization is that it will not save you if you have a bad offer. In fact, it's most effective when you have an offer that is already working and you have a campaign that's already working. When you throw personalization into the mix, it's like throwing gas on the fire. Just like you can see here, email A and email C are performing in their own right, but when you add personalization and you have that variant for email B, automatically you're up 300% in performance. So that's it for personalization, and this is how you want to leverage personalization into your emails when it comes to B2B email marketing. The proof is in the pudding. I've shown you the metrics, I've shown you the copy that we've used, I've shown you the potential for using personalization when you are reaching out to your ideal clients. If you found this valuable and you want me to personally run your email campaigns for you, for your B2B solution, then book a call below. My scheduling link is in the description.